Welcome back to the New York Sports Exchange, episode number 183. And Tim, we made it. Football is
It's
here.
back. It's back.
It's back, baby. It's back. College football. We had a great appetizer with week 0. We have an outstanding week 1 coming up. We are previewing all the big games from week 1. Bama, Florida State, Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU. What else? The Utah UCLA game? It's going to be seen.
It's gonna be a great week 1. It'll take our mind off some fucking baseball, Stan, because I'm sick of watching some New York ball.
I did say before we started recording, the fact, how bad is it in Met and Yankee land right now is that we are both itching to watch Boise State, South Florida on Thursday. I had a smile on my face. I was just so, rejuvenated when watching Sam Houston State and Western Kentucky.
Yeah, so I don't have to watch
the Yankee game.
Devin Williams or Ryan Helsley just go on the mound and blow it in the 8th inning again.
Yeah, that's just, and 3 error, watching your team commit 3 errors in 1 inning. All
it's
fun stuff.
Little League World Series is better ball than the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah,
dude, it's insane.
The Chinese, I'll take the Chinese Taipei team over the
Shout
Yankees.
Shout out them, 7-0 against Nevada. Good for them.
That kid, I forget what his name was. The kid's throwing 105 from an MLB mound.
What was he throwing, 82 from 40 feet? He's going to need Tommy John in 3 years, but, shout out that kid.
But he also, just started, he first started playing baseball 3 years ago, only started pitching, last year, and he's this phenom.
I mean, the kid is 12, so, he's still
12.
Yeah, it's not, starting 3 years ago means he started at 9, which is all right, it's...
He is 12, so there's a point there. But he was throwing from 85 miles an hour from 40 feet, and then from 60 feet, which is a major league mound, it's 105 miles an hour.
No, just because I know we're not really going to touch base on the Little League World Series, but the Nevada one from the losers bracket, but they only had to beat Connecticut once. I don't understand how that works.
It's a flawed system, Tim.
I don't understand how that works. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a flawed system. I don't understand how Connecticut can go undefeated, and then the moment they go into the U.S. Championship, it's do or die.
That makes no sense.
I don't understand.
Makes no sense.
Don't understand. Does not make sense. I don't want to get started with the Little League World Series right now. But anyway, Yankees and Mets suck. Cal Raleigh just broke the
catcher.
Not broke it, tied it, or did he? He tied
I think he broke.
Right?
Well, he's at 49 now? I think maybe he broke
it. He's at 49. He may have... Nope, he broke it. That's right. He broke the catcher record for most home runs in a season. It is August 25th.
Crazy.
Again, absurd. What else do we got? Football. NFL football for once. NFL preview is going to be next week. Terry McLaurin, the holdout is over. 3 years, $92 million extension.
He earned it.
He did earn it, despite him being 32 years old. I can imagine that's probably his last contract in Washington.
Yeah, 100%. But he was there from the get-go. They were terrible when he first got there, so he stuck it out. Yeah. He earned it.
And then we haven't touched up on this Micah Parsons drama. Also, it's been an extended break. How we been? Are you doing good?
I'm doing good.
I mean, I know we've seen each other, but
I'm doing better than the Mets, so.
Yeah, I'm doing better than the Yankees too, considering the week. But anyway, Micah and Terry will dive into that, and then college football week 1 preview. So let's get started. Should we start with the Yankees? Let's just, because I think the Yankees have kind of just took over because I think, Tim, you should be thanking us for just being equally terrible, because now
we don't get the spotlight. Yeah.
So you guys don't get the spotlight. Because there was one point where the Mets lost a couple days ago, and I was like, holy shit, they're only a half game up in the wild card right now.
They're brutal.
It's bad. But, it just seems like whenever we face Boston or Toronto, just lay down and die.
And you're and right now you're matched up with what? Who you matched up with? Oh no, you're still the 2, so you're matched up with.
We're still the 2. We're a half game behind the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So that win kind of did loom large.
Okay.
But this freaking team, man, it's
the mental errors after mental errors, and then watching Stanton play the outfield when you guys had him out there. What was that, a week ago? He's not even trying to fly balls. He wasn't even trying.
It's just so bad, and with Volpe and with playing him every day, I just don't understand why the Yankees aren't doing what other teams are doing with their young guys. And look at what the Mets did. I know he's hurt right now, but might be out for the year. But when Francisco Alvarez went to Syracuse to AAA and came back up, there was like a 2-week span where he was one of the best catchers in baseball.
It was night and day. And before he got hurt, he was one of our better hitters. He was heating up.
Yeah, and Matt Shaw has on the Cubs, he's gone down a couple of times. He's changed his batting stance like five different times just to find a way. He's probably one of the best rookies this month right now. I just don't understand like why they're just so arrogant to be like, all right, like the defensive metrics are there. Volpe's elite. He's one of the best defensive shortstops in the sport. Like the gaslighting, I can't take it anymore.
It feels It feels like the front office just has to be right. And they can't just sit down and realize and look in the mirror and be like, listen, he's got some tweaks. We might just send him down to AAA, get the confidence back and bring him back up because he looks terrible in the field. Like the fielding's not even there.
Awful.
And again, he can't hit. So it's like, I don't know. Starting him every day makes no sense. And then not sitting him down makes no sense.
So they sat him down yesterday and they got the win despite even like when they won, I was like, whatever.
It's the same with the Mets. The Mets were up 12-2 the other day. They won 12-7. They went up like 5 runs in the 9th inning. Like, well, that doesn't feel good.
There's a point. It just gets to a point where you're just like, all right,
we're not good.
We have the Nationals, then we have the White Sox in Chicago. Like again, those should be wins, but at the same time, it's it's like, all right, how are we going to do against these good teams? Because I felt like this Red Sox series said a lot. Because if they at least split or took 3 out of 4, the narrative could have been like, all right, like now, like we're up in the wild card, we're the top team in the wild card right now. We're kind of lurking in the division right now, so maybe the division's still a possibility. Now, it's just like, all right, we're a wild card team, and the moment we face a good team, it's going to be
Yeah, and it's like, obviously the game 1, what was it, 1-0? I mean, it wasn't anything crazy.
Game 1, game 1 was probably the closest game of them all, aside from the 1-0 game, but the 1-0 game, they just couldn't hit.
And the 12-2.
The 12-2, this was the game on Saturday. Thank God there was week 0 football on. That way I had to be like, I was just like, you know what? I'm ignoring them. I'm going to watch football.
There's something else
all
to
day.
watch.
There's something else on. And I think that it just it was also like 5-1 going into the 9th inning. And I get the bullpen's depleted, and I get that, you just threw Paul Blackburn out there.
Blackburn pitched great. Welcome to the Paul Blackburn show, dude. He's terrible. Yeah. He's terrible.
I think he's getting cut probably today or tomorrow because I think
he's
just like a
3 innings, 7 runs, 7 hits. And it was terrible.
It's 5-1 going into the 9th, and if we want to be optimistic here, that's still a 1-possession game if we want to call it that.
It is technically.
You could load up the bases and hit a grand slam.
One swing.
Game. One swing of the bat. And I get Blackbird's not going to be here long because Fernando Cruz is likely going to be coming up, but
he's so bad.
Man, you're just waving the white flag, and now the errors, and like there were so many errors this series alone. The Luis Heel play, and there was that.
They're like glaring errors too, dude. They're not even like they're just so
errors.
obvious.
There was one point after the third game Tim, they had more errors than runs.
That doesn't fly in Major League Baseball.
It doesn't fly. And we can talk. And the thing is, though, the front office could just be confused because the numbers are there. Highest OPS in baseball, most home runs in baseball, highest offensive WAR in baseball, and they are not good because they just don't know how to play baseball.
And clearly the formula that they've been using, it doesn't work.
Isn't working. It is not working. It's not working. I just think that no matter what guy you get, it's still not good. It happened after the deadline, like Caballero, like a highest OAA and right outs above average in right field. He makes an error, they lose. I don't understand. You get the bullpen, like you bolster the bullpen. Camilo Doval hasn't been the guy that you wanted to be. Bednar's been good. Jake Bird's down in AAA. He's still in AAA. And I get that's a guy that you want to have for the future, but honestly, right now, is it much better than what we have right now?
Why would you not bring him up? What's the difference? Like, he's going to pitch anyway. What the hell's the difference?
At first, when they bumped him down, I was like, okay, this is like a get him right, type of thing.
Right, because you got the other guys coming in. It makes sense. Yeah. Like you got more bolstered up. But that hasn't worked, so...
But what the fuck is this? It's been a month, and you traded a pretty good prospect for him, like Rock Riggio.
There has to either be some issue, like mechanically or physically, because I just don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Making a move like that and then not playing the guy doesn't make sense to me.
Does not make sense. What else do we got? Oh yeah, Mets. Let's go to the Mets. Let's go to the Mets.
They've been. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the hell they are. I really don't. Like, I don't get it because it seems like every game, Stan, you get to the third inning, they're up 3-0, and you're like, all right, we're looking good. Guys are getting on base. We're manufacturing runs, but that's it. It's 3-0, then we lose 7-3. We lose 5-3. You blow it in the sixth, you blow it in the eighth. That was a 2-0 game. Peterson lets up a 2-run, 2 walks in the sixth. Couldn't get out of the sixth. Lets up a 2-run RBI, and then you pull them and you let up 4 runs. It's like, all right, well, that game's over. Like, it's just, it's a constant rotating wheel of starters can't get through 6. Then the bullpen comes in and they're even worse. So now it's like, all right, what's the plan here? And then the Mets can't hit after the 6th inning, so we can't manufacture any runs. If it was a 5-inning baseball game, Stan, Mets would be the best team in the league. But it's not. It's 9 innings, and they can't get to the 9th inning. They just can't do it.
If we had 7-inning doubleheaders throughout the year, I think the Mets would be the best team in baseball.
Best team in baseball. But they just I don't get it. I don't understand. Like you said with the Yankees, the Mets bringing guys to bolster up the bullpen. Helsley, 3 ERA.
He's been terrible.
9.08 on the Mets. He's been horrendous. And the only guy really that I trust full-heartedly is Gregory Soto, who was the lower value guy out of all of them. He's been the best out of all 3. So it's just constant.
He gave
I know
up
he did.
Eventual winning hit.
Of course he did.
But
what that's the one time he did it. You throw anyone else, and Helsley would have blew 6 runs out there. Don't get me started on Ryan Stanek because I don't even know why he's a major leaguer still. It's
Rico Garcia.
Yeah,
Rico Garcia couldn't do what Ryan Stanek did apparently. Is doing right now.
Yeah, it's this constant revolving door of they can't hit, and they can't pitch, then they can hit. It's just, I don't know what they are. I really don't have no clue. The one bright spot is Noel McLean's been fantastic in his 2 starts. He's got 2 wins.
Very good.
And
they're talking about Jonah
getting pulled up. He's been great. I know they moved Sprout to the bullpen at AAA. He's been wasn't great in his first relief start. I think he let up like 5 runs, which is actually terrible. But Tong's been great. Yeah, he was actually really bad. But Tong's been fantastic, and there's been rumors about him getting pulled up, which they desperately need, because if you take a look in the mirror right now as a Met fan, you can't say to yourself Kodai Senga is an ace, because he's not. He's not what he used to be, right? And maybe it's just this year. Maybe he needs more time, but he's constantly injured. His fastball velo's dropped 2 miles per hour, which it may not seem like a lot, but that is a lot in baseball. I mean, you go from 96 to 94. That's a completely different pitch. He can't locate the ghost fork, which, everyone says is the best strikeout pitch in baseball. He throws it for a strike maybe like 10% of the time. So I'm not like, and they're not swinging at it, because if you can't locate it, you're not going to swing at it. And I'm like, all right, well, it's just, it hasn't made sense. I don't get, and they go, Lindor's been on a tear, which has been great. He's still like a 500 club with that guy. What does he have, like a 13 game on base streak? And he's still like 500. Vientos is heating up again.
Yeah, Mark Vientos has looked good too.
3 straight at bats with 3 homers, and then they lose. I mean, I don't know. They got to figure some things out. Soto with runners in scoring position. If this guy looks for a walk one more time, Stan, one more time with runners in scoring position, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose it. I don't. Why are you looking for a walk, dude? Swing the fucking bat. You don't swing anything. Just swing the bat, dude. We don't need bases loaded for a ground out from Pete. I don't want it.
It's been tough. This has been tough. Let's look at the standings. I look to the National League West. Can the Padres win this division?
Yep. And I saw a report, Stan, that people think the Dodgers are like quote unquote tanking, which I don't know if that makes necessarily much sense, but they really haven't been throwing their top relievers in some of these like high leverage situations.
No, they haven't.
I get.
Well, they're also all hurt.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Scott's due to come back soon or something like that. Like, I remember there was something along the lines of that.
I think they're these phantom IL stints, Stan. They're the phantom IL stints. They're just putting these guys. They're just resting these dudes.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the odds to win the National League West. The Dodgers at -185. The Padres at +140.
Value bet right there
to win the division. That's a value bet right there.
They got a big series right now. They got Seattle.
This is the only series or division really that has value, because because the Brewers are up by
running away with that. Running away with it.
It's actually at 5 games now. It was at 8 at one point. The Phillies are running away with the division. It looks like
big series.
Yeah,
Mets sweep. It's back in action.
Maybe.
They might win a game.
A game. Yeah. Is it 3 or 4?
I think it's 3 because they have them again coming up like the next following week.
Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then you got 4 in Miami, or against Miami at Citi Field. Let's go to Cal Raleigh. He did it. Is it going to happen? Do you think he's going to win MVP? Is there going to be voter fatigue for Aaron Judge, you think? A la Jokic,
and LeBron. Yeah, I maybe. it honestly all depends on how the Yankees finish out the year. Because if like the Yankees are like a 10-game losing streak and barely sneak into the playoffs, it's like how can we, justify that? This like But then again, the Yankees go on a hot streak and they
something tells me they're gonna pull like. Do you remember when they won? Do you remember? It was the year 2021, the year where Cole got rocked in the wild card game.
Yeah,
they were like out of the playoff picture at one point, and like mid-August to early September, they like rattled off like 13 straight wins.
Snuck back in, yep. Yeah, and then they got shelled in Boston.
They got shelled. Oh, God, disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah, but is there going to be voter fatigue for Aaron Judge?
I would
favor
imagine
of Cal
so.
Raleigh?
I mean, if you look at the stats, it's clearly Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball. Like, it's without a question. But with what Raleigh's doing behind the dish, it's like...
This is the greatest year that we've seen from a catcher ever.
But right, the thing there is from a catcher, right? Not from a player. Like Aaron Judge, from a player standpoint, is like probably better. Yeah,
very, very much better. Let's go to the NFL. Some two big stories coming out of the NFL, and both in my division, which is unfortunate for one and pretty fortunate for the other. Terry McLaurin is staying in Washington 3 years, $93 million.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a 32-year-old receiver.
That is a lot of money for a 32-year-old receiver. Yes, but the stats are there. He is the most since the beginning of the decade, all 5 seasons in the beginning of the decade, most 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He's tied with Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, and Justin Jefferson for 5. That's a top receiver, and also with a different quarterback every year, by the way.
Which is insane. Like, that's insane. And this is why he got paid. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, he stuck it out with them. He's been there since the get-go. Finally, they have some stability. Like, you got to give the man his flowers. Give him the money.
Exactly. $96 million. I apologize.
Jesus, this dude got fucking paid. Yeah. He's going to be 35, making what?
He's going to be 96 divided by 3.
32?
$32 million a year. $32 million a year. I mean, he deserves it. Don't get me wrong.
I know.
Absolutely.
But you see the decline from receivers at like 31, 32. They lose a step, other than Mike Evans, really. But
that is true. There was like a small 1 week period where I was like, you know what? Maybe the Giants do win week 1 against Washington. No McLaurin. Like, this seems like a disaster. And then this morning I was like, never mind.
I don't know. I don't think so.
0-3. 3 to start the year. There we go.
You know how the Jets season's going to play out. They got Aaron Rodgers week 1. He's going to have a Hall of Fame game, 500 passing. Take every over for Rodgers if you're a smart man here.
If you're a betting man, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Exactly. Let's talk about Micah, because this has become...
It's a clown show. Jerry Jones is talking about it with every media guy out there. He's trying to strong arm him right now by going to the media and being like, listen, like, this is what you're going to get. I'm the owner of the team. Not that you're getting paid by me. Like, I'm your boss.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
I think, though, that Jerry's still living in 1996.
He's been living in 1996, dude.
Yeah. Where he still thinks that, the Cowboys are, the upper echelon team. Doesn't it remind you of someone? But anyway, I'm not going to let anyone think about that. They still believe that they are the upper echelon of the league. Like, they are the team. They're the team that everybody wants to go to.
They stink.
And they suck. This isn't the 90s where you're winning, when you're rattling off Super Bowl after Super Bowl all the time. This isn't and also Jerry did this last year with Dak Prescott, where he waited until literally an hour before kickoff to negotiate a deal with Dak Prescott.
And then he paid him.
And he paid him. And it's not looking too good to start. But nonetheless, I think that right now, Micah Parsons is what? Top 8 most impactful player in the sport right now?
Dude, I could argue top 5.
When he's on the field, you feel it.
Their defense
oh shit, here comes
without
Micah Parsons.
Their defense is terrible without him.
Terrible. Trayvon Diggs is back, by the way. That means
great.
Nothing to me.
10 interceptions. That means nothing. Lets up 100 touchdowns on him. Yeah.
That means nothing to me, by the way. Yeah, but this isn't the 90s anymore, Jerry. You can't just talk. This isn't the era where you're the standard and teams want to play for you. No, players want their fucking money.
Right, and he's talking to Stephen A. He's talking to Stephen A. He's like, I don't want his agent involved in these negotiations. It's only between me and him.
He has to be. No other team.
What is the agent there for? That's the agent's job.
Can you imagine? I don't even understand. Teams go through the agent all the time. I don't understand why.
That's how it works.
That's how it works now. I don't get it, and I love it. I love it because one, it's a team that I hated my whole life. Number two, when Jerry goes, it's just going to get even worse because the son is just like him.
He's worse.
He's just as worse as Jerry. But oh my god, I don't think they trade him. He's still got like 3 years left in his contract.
Yeah, that's the whole argument. Is Jerry's like he's got to honor what we signed and what we agreed.
Yeah, and now according to Rap, teams are reaching out to try and trade for both Parsons and Trey Hendrickson, and that's another shit show because the Bengals. Oh my god,
They're brutal.
They're brutal. Like
they're built like an 8-year-old built a Madden team.
Yes. This is like when you fantasy draft on Madden and you're like, oh, this offensive player, offense, and then your defense sucks.
Stinks.
That's literally what the Cincinnati Bengals are. The starting defense can't even contain a second string offense. Did you see that when they were playing Washington?
Stan, they're going to let up like 60 points a game. And they're going to have I don't think Joe Burrow's going to get killed. Yeah,
the O-line doesn't look good. You're seeing the stuff that's happening with like the owners or just the organization as a whole with Boomer.
What happened?
Boomer Esiason's being honored in the Bengals Ring of Honor. The Bengals aren't paying for any of the inductees' flights, hotels, nothing. They got to pay it. They got to pay pocket.
I wouldn't even go.
Which is stupid. I wouldn't even go either. Are you serious?
That's like Zach Wheeler saying, I want to go to the World Series game, be with the team. It's like, yeah, just pay for the flight. You can get there.
Just pay for the flight then. I don't understand. Like, Boomer Esiason, top 3-5 most influential Bengals of all time?
Yeah,
I'd say so.
100%.
Burrow,
Look what
Jamar,
he's doing now.
Ocho Cinco, Boomer. Went to a Super Bowl with them, for God's sake.
I know.
He's probably like the only reason why they're before Ocho Cinco. He was the only reason why they were relevant ever. Only reason.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Maybe Icky Woods, just because of the Icky shuffle. But
yeah, all right. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, hey, you're definitely
I think
right.
Those are the five. Those are the 5 most influential Cincinnati Bengals that I named.
Is Anthony Munoz on them?
Franchise, maybe just because it's offensive line though.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like it's not. Yeah, like who? Yeah, like Nick Mangold for the Jets, but the Jets stink. Like that's a different story.
Exactly. What are you doing?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Honestly, like where do the Bengals have a shot at the playoffs? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think although this is like the first year where the Bengals are going to benefit from not starting like 0-3. Because you remember how like every year they start like 0-3 and you're like,
then they win like 7 games.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to talking NFL football, though. Preview next week, right before Dallas Philly. Ooh.
Yeah, well, is Micah going to play?
I find that hard to believe.
I don't think he does.
I'll be pretty shocked if Terry starts the year.
True, yeah.
Actually, maybe.
I'm sure
he will.
He's old enough. He knows the team well enough. He's not like a newer guy.
Yeah. I did realize though, this Chiefs Chargers game is on YouTube TV, or it's on YouTube, but like, which is all right, I guess.
Why? Like,
YouTube?
Just put them on like. I'm so sick of these. Put them in multiple streaming services. I got to spend like $700 to watch a football game. Like, Sling
Speaking
TV.
of, you hear about the new TV deal?
Did you see Sling TV?
I didn't see Sling TV. What happened there?
You could buy day passes now if you want to watch a football game. It's like $5. You could get like the what's it called? It's like $5 for the day. You get like red zone and everything. Like you could watch like all the football stuff.
Okay.
For $5. Yeah,
all
it's
right.
$5 for the day.
That's all right. That's actually a good deal. I thought you were talking about like $5 for like each select game. I was like, holy shit!
It's like $5 for the day. You get a day pass to watch like red zone and all that stuff. So shout out Sling TV.
Yeah, I'm just. You saw the new MLB TV deal thing, or maybe that's probably being negotiated.
What was it?
So Apple done.
Thank God.
So now Peacock/NBC, they're owning Sunday night forever.
Baseball?
They have Sunday night football. They have Sunday night football. They have Sunday basketball because they have the NBA.
Yeah.
And now they're getting Friday night and Sunday night baseball.
They just need to get hockey back.
Yeah. And now ESPN has
the WNBA.
ESPN's getting MLB TV.
Really?
It's going to be a part of that like new app. Which
I didn't even know that.
Which I think now don't take this as gospel. Which I think if you get the app, you either have to pay like $30.99 a month or you just get it with your cable provider. So I think if you have your cable provider, you get it for free.
That's sick.
Does that mean I get MLB TV for free next year?
You might. I have MLB TV. I'll sling that over to you. I still have it.
Yeah. And then Netflix is getting the Home Run Derby.
That's so fucking stupid.
And I think I know why. Because they want a worldwide audience, number one. And they want Shohei Ohtani to be in the Home Run Derby.
Of course they do.
Of course.
They want Shohei in everything.
Yeah, they want him in everything. Why wouldn't you want him in everything?
He's the biggest influence in the sport.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want him in everything?
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, that's the new TV deal. That new ESPN app, though, I think that's going to rock.
I'm sure it will. I'm so sick of having to go through like a million different apps just to go watch a game. Like,
I think you can watch and I did this, you could do this on only Xbox for whatever reason. But I think on like computers and like TVs now,
quad boxes.
You could watch quad box, yeah.
MLB TV I could do on my computer, but every time I try and do it on my TV, it doesn't let me fucking do it.
The TV, it lets you do 2 at a time.
Damn. I'm trying to get the 4. I want the 4, dude. The 4 is what you need.
The quad box is awesome, especially during college football season, and college basketball season. It's incredible.
And if you got like
the quad box.
Four baseball games in the 8th inning, I like to see what's going on in all of them.
Yeah, I like to see what's happening. Yeah, exactly. I'm itching for a college football Saturday, and we finally get one this week. So let's just dive into it. This is the last thing. We're just going to spend the rest of this episode talking college football.
Yeah, and shout out Tommy Fleetwood. Got the first win.
Yes,
there you go.
Big win for Tommy Fleetwood.
We'll get that out of the way.
Yeah, monkey off the back.
Jesus Christ. How long? I mean, I didn't think you should.
There was one point I was on the phone with my grandfather, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like Fleetwood's in the lead," and then I hung up or 15 minutes later, and he like blew a 3-shot lead.
He always does. He always does. I didn't think he was like,
oh my god. I was like,
finally
Jesus Christ. All right, let's dive into some college football. We finally made it, boys. We finally made it. College football is on our minds. Great week 0. Am I a fan of having playoff implications on a week 0 game
in Ireland,
in
England? Yeah, or is it? I don't even know where it was. Was it in England or Ireland? It was in Ireland.
It was in Dublin. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the playoff implications.
The weather was terrible. The field wasn't great.
The weather sucked. The field wasn't like you couldn't like it. The field was so bad that ESPN couldn't even put down the first down marker.
So many turnovers. Like it was a sloppy game.
Yeah. But I mean, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I just don't like how it was a conference game.
No, it should have just been something that doesn't matter.
Next year, I think it's going to be UNC, and is it TC?
I don't even know.
Let me find this out. Dublin College Football 2026. Yeah, TCU, North Carolina is going to be. So that's out of conference. Pretty entertaining, I'd say. I just didn't like how it was. Like,
it didn't really make sense.
I get the Florida State Georgia Tech thing last year. I mean, get it now in hindsight. Now how fucking terrible Florida State was, but we'll see. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of like a game that early having
because if it comes down, if it comes down to it, and they're like, "This is the decision maker." It's like really, like it shouldn't be
a week 0 game in Ireland. Like really,
is that really like the difference maker?
I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan. Don't get me wrong. I think. Yeah, I don't think that's a good. I hope that I don't think the committee will, but that
committee sucks. Of course they're not.
But anyway, the Hawaii game.
This is gonna be a huge game. The committee's ass, dude.
Yeah. I know. Did you catch the Hawaii Stanford game?
I did not. I was working.
This was when was kickoff for this game? Like 8:00.
Yeah,
it was good. So you know Frank Reich is coaching Stanford.
I didn't even know that.
Only for a year. It's weird. So Andrew Luck's the GM of Stanford football now, and his first move was to hire Frank Reich, and he's literally going to be there for 1 year, and 1 year only. And I guess he's just basically there to be a culture setter. But I think right now, oh my god, I think Stanford may go winless this year.
Are they that bad?
Dude, it was bad. And Hawaii's like kind of on the rise because they have a former players, head coach. All that good stuff. All that.
Hawaii's starting to produce some football players too. Like they're actually
this Micah Alejado kid. He's all-time leading passer in Bishop Gorman High School history, and this guy's supposed to be like the wonder boy. Second half, he gets hip dropped.
Oh,
and oh my god, he couldn't walk he still played and he couldn't walk. He couldn't move.
Oh,
couldn't move. I thought he like broke his leg. I was like, holy shit. I was like, what kind of drugs is he on? And he leads a game-winning drive. And then the kicker, get this about the kicker. The kicker is from Japan, and he like saw American football
and just
on
wanted to kick.
YouTube and learned how to. And went to like some random JUCO in Ohio just to adapt to the American culture of football. Just stay away from like any type of place that has like Japanese culture or whatever. He just wanted to like stuck in football, and then he transferred to Hawaii and he kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired.
There you go. Shout out JUCO.
Yes, so shout out JUCOs, man. All right, let's get it started. Are we like this slate? I sent Tim the slate, and he's like, "This is the whole thing," meaning like, "Holy shit, it's this long." And yeah, it is. Like, this is. I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready. Let's get it started. Boise State. They're coming off a 12-2 season, defending Mountain West champions. No Ashton Genty. Maddox Matson is back. They are favored by 6.5, 5.5 on some books. They're favored by 6.5 against South Florida, who has an daunting 3-game schedule to open up the year. Boise State, Florida, Miami. That's pretty daunting.
Not great.
They're
Not
6.
great.
Yeah. Total is at 63.5. 63.5. Tim, what do we think? What are we thinking on this one? Because there's pretty opposite ends of the spectrum here. You know, if you're Boise State, you lose Ashton Genty. You're going with the committee approach at running back. Maddox Matson is back. Threw for 3,000 yards last year, 23 touchdowns. You also have great experience back offensively. Matt Lauder back at tight end. Latrell Caples back at wide receiver. You have an improved defense. You did fill them with a lot of transfers. Also, you do kind of want to make an impact. This is your last year in the Mountain West before going to the Pac-12. So what are you thinking for this game?
I will say I do like Boise State. I think they have the more experienced team, the better quarterback too, a much better thrower. But honestly, Stan, if Boise State can't contain Byron Brown because he can run, I mean, if he gets out of that backfield and starts going, I don't know. I think this can go either way. I feel like everyone's going to favor Boise State, but this might be a sneaky South Florida win to start the year. Call me crazy, but honestly, like if UCF pulls this off, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked.
SF. I wouldn't be. Honestly, I agree with you. I think right now for the big X factor for South Florida right now is, will Byron Brown like return to his 2023 form? He missed all last year due to injury, and can they really contain this versatile attack offense that Boise State has? And it's also, keep in mind, they're going from Boise, Idaho to Tampa, Florida. It's going to be humid. The home crowd's going to play a big role because they play at Raymond James Stadium, where the Buccaneers play. So that crowd's going to be, yeah, exactly. And the offensive line may help control the tempo of the South Florida offense. They're very experienced. A lot of points to be had. Am I crazy enough to say it's going to be too many points for South Florida?
I don't know. I don't think you're crazy. Again, like I think Boise State's the more experienced team with a better quarterback, at least a better thrower. But, dude, I don't know. This is going to be, I honestly, Stan, I think this game's going to be closer than people think. I think this might come down to like a fucking field goal, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. All right. Bet right now.
USF
Give me
plus
South
6.
Florida by the points.
Yeah, that's what I'm with you. I think that's the play of the day.
Yeah, I think it's such like a good like look ahead spot, if you want to call it that, or do we call it a hangover? Just because Boise State, they made the playoff, they lose Ashton Genty, but you still return some guys, so it's like, all right, they have some impact players, but I don't know, like just the conditions. It's going to be hot and humid.
It's just a completely different environment. Like they're not used to that. Yeah, they're not used to that. It's a huge and like again, like you see it in the NFL too. When you look at Miami when they play at home and they play on the road, like it affects both sides. It's not like it's a completely different game when you're playing down south. So interested to see how it's going to play out. But I do like USF by the points.
Absolutely. All right. Next game, next big one on Thursday. Nebraska and Dylan Raiola taking on Cincinnati at Arrowhead Stadium. So you have the Mahomes cosplayer versus Travis Kelce's alma mater. So this is Chiefs fans galore written all over it. Nebraska enters the year with some momentum. They win the Pinstripe Bowl after ending a long bowl drought. Dylan Raiola, we mentioned before, he's now a sophomore. He's probably the team's most indispensable player right now, and he has a high ceiling potential with Dana Holgorsen back as offensive coordinator. We go to Cincinnati. They struggled last season. A 5-7 record. They made key staff changes, altering defensive personnel, adding in some transfers. quarterback Brendan Sorsby returns, while Tawee Walker at running back and several defensive additions look to make an impact. Nebraska's favored by 6.5. The total is set at 53. What are we thinking here? This may be... I have one. I don't know.
I
The
like
big
Nebraska by the
X-factors here
points.
for me.
I like Nebraska by the points.
Really?
Yeah, I think they have a
Okay.
revamped defense.
Okay.
That
I
was
think
kind of
for
their
me,
issue
right-
last year.
Oh,
So
keep going, Tim. Sorry.
I'm just saying they have a revamped defense. That was their issue last year, and it's the second year. I know I hate him. I fucking hate him because he's just cosplaying Mahomes as a 20-year-old. Like, you're not 12, dude. Not the Little League World Series. Give it a rest. But he's a good quarterback.
19.
Whatever. They're a decent team. I think I like them by the points. I don't think Cincinnati's very good, to be honest with you. They didn't really make too many changes. I know they had some key transfers. It wasn't anything crazy. They were 5-7 last year. I expect sort of a similar record from them against this year. I like Nebraska by the points.
Okay. I think the X factors for me here, especially for Nebraska, can Dylan Raiola build early chemistry with the new receivers? And also, can the offensive line hold up to maintain the offensive rhythm? I think that was a big issue with Nebraska last year, where Raiola, he was a freshman, he was young, but there wasn't really much rhythm between him and the offensive line. I think for Cincinnati, Will Sorsby, a quarterback, can his experience and the new players translate to offensive balance? And also, is the defense ready for this high-powered Nebraska offense? I think right now, I'm going to go with the over at 53.
Knew you were going to say.
I think these two offenses... Yeah, I just think it's a neutral site. It's Arrowhead. It's a big venue, big crowd. There's going to be some sloppiness, penalties. I know I have the over, but overthrown balls, drop balls, adjustment periods are likely to happen as the course of the game goes on. So give me the over at, what is it on DraftKings? 53.5?
I think something like that.
53.5. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. All right. Let's go to the next game. We go to Boulder. In the post-Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter era, Georgia Tech headed to Boulder, taking on Colorado. Georgia Tech favored by 4.5. The total's at 52.5. Haynes King and Jamal Haynes are back at Georgia Tech, both ranked in the top 10 among their positions by ESPN. New era for Colorado. Quarterback competition still wide open. I believe they named Caden Salter as their starting quarterback. Let me look that up. Colorado starting QB.
They have so many question marks.
There's a lot of question marks. They actually haven't named one yet. I think, honestly, right now, I think you go with Salter. I think he was very good at Liberty. He brings the experience. I think that's something, I don't want to say Shedeur was inexperienced, but I think that brings something that
they didn't have.
I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders was an inexperienced quarterback, but I just think that you benefit with someone having a lot of experience, and that's what Salter brings you. The defense returns experience and depth after, they completely overhauled the defense last year. They also bolstered it by bringing in strong portal additions. And again, the offense remains a big question mark for Colorado. The offensive line and the run game are underwhelming. The tight ends were pretty underutilized last year.
That's the big
surprised if they. I would be.
They got to use them.
I'd be shocked if they're utilized. I'd be shocked if they're utilized this year. This is gonna be an interesting game. Tim, what do you have here?
I don't like Colorado at all. I think there's so many question marks going into this team. Like, they don't really have a true identity yet. This is definitely going to be a feeling out game for them. More of like, where do we stand as a football team? Georgia Tech, on the other hand, like, returning quarterback. And I'm not saying Georgia Tech's good by any means. I mean, the spread is -3.5. It's not anything crazy.
4.5, yeah.
If I'm a betting man, I'm going to take Georgia Tech by the points. But that's just because I think Colorado's in a weird spot right now. I don't think they really, like you said, they haven't named a starting quarterback yet. They don't really have a true identity. I'm not sure how the offense is going to look because it has to be completely revamped. It's not going to be the same as it was last year. So I'm interested to see how they're going to play it out, but this is definitely going to be a feel-out game for them. It can go either way. Listen, if it works out, it works out well, and they might run away with this game. But in my head, I just don't see it working out week one, so I'm going to take Georgia Tech by the points.
I'm going to go with the under at, what do we got here? 55? 52. Yes, 52.5. I'm taking the under 52.5. I think that this under will come down to Colorado's offense and Georgia Tech's defense. I think that there's uncertainty at quarterback. We don't know if it's going to be Julian Lewis or Caden Salter. The defense in Colorado, it's improved but untested, and I think Colorado wants to establish the run game, which I don't think that they're capable of doing against this Georgia Tech defense. Give me the under. Also, Georgia Tech on offense likes to milk the clock a lot. I think they averaged 28 seconds between plays, and I think that they would just love to just shrink this game and just control the tempo immediately just by playing hard-nosed football. So give me the under 52.5.
I don't hate it.
All right, next game, same day, same time, actually, believe it or not. Auburn heads to Baylor. We talked about this Baylor team. We did. Sawyer Robertson returns as the undisputed starter. He was benched to begin the year and then came in due to injury and just lit it up. 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. Bryson Washington is back. Rushed for over 1,000 yards at 12 touchdowns. Offense returns 4 starters in the offensive line, and they have a very highly challenging non-conference slate. This Auburn game, they go to SMU next week. We go to Auburn. They bring in Oklahoma transfer quarterback Jackson Arnold. Hugh Freeze enters year 3 with hopes. I think he's coaching for his job here. I think he's absolutely coaching for his job. 5-7 year in 2024 when they were supposed to be improved. Yeah, when they were supposed to be improved. Not going to cut it. They add key transfers like Georgia Tech transfer Eric Singleton Jr., Wake Forest transfer Horatio Fields, and Virginia Tech transfer offensive lineman Xavier Chaplin. Auburn is favored by 2.5. The total is set at 57.5. Tim, what do we got here?
I don't know. For me, I like Baylor's team. Auburn definitely kind of revamped what they've been putting out of the field. Like you said, they've been nothing short but bad. I mean, they just haven't been good.
Yeah.
It's going to come down. I know Auburn's got a better defense this year. It's really going to come down to, can Baylor's offense adapt to Auburn's defense and vice versa? We'll see how that kind of works out, which one kind of gets the better of the other. For me, it's sort of a toss-up, but I don't know what Baylor's favored by, the money line, if they are, if they're not. I like Baylor money line. I think Baylor wins week 1 here.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm trying to avoid road favorites in week 1. Just because, I don't know. It just seems chalky to me a little bit.
Kids are coming back to school. It's going to be a rowdy crowd. It just that's what happens week 1.
Exactly. I think that right now, both these coaches need this win, like desperately. Desperately need this win.
Auburn needs a little more. Hugh Freeze needs a little bit more.
Hugh Freeze needs it a little bit more than Dave Aranda does. Just because he wants to go into SEC play with some type of momentum. Auburn's been dying for something for like the past 5 years. For the past 5 years, and Dave Aranda, and now, he brings back experience, and also brings back experience, with Robertson and Washington. He just wants to assert the identity of this team early, just to be like, all right, we have returning guys, we're back we're back, Baylor football's back, whatever. I think the X factor for Baylor is, of course, the chemistry between Robertson and Washington. If Washington gets going early with the run game, I don't know, I think Baylor's got a real good shot. And also Jackson Arnold, he's a pretty big X factor for Auburn as well. Like, how does he do with the new pieces and the new offense? I think that right now, as Tim's screen goes black, oh no, Andy's gone. Oh no, that's a tough sight. I think it's a blackout too in the student section. And plus, Auburn's front 7 does have holes to fill. I'm going to go with Baylor money line. I'm going to agree with Tim on this one and go with Baylor money line. And there's Tim. He's back in the game.
I'm back. Quick technical difficulty. I'm back.
Quick technical difficulty. Won't be that big of a pain to fix in the edit. Hopefully, I pray. But anyway, yeah, I got Baylor money line as well, Tim.
I think it's just a smart play.
So yeah, I was just going to say there was holes in the front 7.
Yeah. I agree. We were on the same page here.
We're very much on the same page. Next game, we're going to go to Tennessee and Syracuse. Tennessee favored by 14. They're favored by 2 touchdowns. By 14 points, the total at 50.5. This one's tough. Syracuse, it's Fran Brown's second year. They overachieved, but still, overachieving is achieving nonetheless. 10-3 record, won a bowl game, ended the year ranked in the AP poll, and the backup planning has paid off. You lose Kyle McCord. Who do you go get? You get Steve Angeli, the former backup quarterback at Notre Dame, Bergen Catholic graduate, by the way.
Shout out,
he's named starting quarterback. Yes, he's named starting quarterback. Tennessee, you lose Nico Iamaleava. You bring in Joey Aguilar, who originally transferred to UCLA from App State. And then once Nico was going, he entered the spring portal, ended up at Tennessee. Tennessee's defense remains a strong unit amidst the roster changes that they had. Tennessee's solid favorites for very good reasons. I think the X factors here for Syracuse, it comes down to the quarterback play. Can Steve Angeli manage the game and face off against an elite defense? I think that expectations are low, and the transition to quarterback is crucial with how well Kyle McCord played at Syracuse last year. Then if you're Tennessee, how well can Joey Aguilar execute here? And if he's able to avoid turnovers, and if Tennessee's defense delivers early stops, I think Tennessee dominates this game. But Tim, what do you have here? This game's also on a neutral site.
Tennessee's going to dominate. Syracuse historically, what are they, 0-3 against Tennessee? I don't even think they've ever won a game against them.
I don't think they've ever played against them in general. I think this is the first matchup, maybe.
If they have, they haven't won. They haven't won a game against Tennessee if they played them.
Yeah, neutral site, it reduces the home field advantage. Plus, it's in Atlanta, too. So
Tennessee's the better team, dude. Yeah. I love Syracuse. It's a New York school. Shout out Cuse. But Tennessee's going to stomp on them.
Shout out them. Gotta drive to Jersey to bet on it.
Yeah, I know. Go Rutgers.
Yeah, go Rutgers. Yeah, I got Tennessee laying the 14 here.
Yeah, I think that's the smart play. I mean, you'd be dumb not honestly. Like if you're going to take Syracuse spread, I put the book down, dude. Call it up. It's like bet on the Jets. Just don't do it.
Watch Syracuse win this game outright.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy.
Now that you're saying this shit. Next up, this is the big one. The big one. I think this is bigger than the LSU Clemson game, if you ask me. Texas, Ohio State at the Shoe. Texas 2.5-point underdogs. Actually, it's now at 1.5. It's essentially a pick 'em at this point. Total is at 47.5. Let's take a look at what we got here. Arch Manning. Honestly, Arch Manning's the Heisman favorite.
Is he,
the team
though?
is improved.
Come on, I just want to get this out.
Right now he is.
How,
right,
though?
He's not my...
Does he even have 100 passing attempts in college football? Like, does he?
I mean, he's the favorite right now, but he's not my pick to be the Heisman.
All right, that's fair.
I will get to at a later time. Improved discipline, smarter plays decisions. I believe Sarkisian, at one point they averaged 10 penalties a game, and they were able to manage that down to 2 last year. That's going to be big. Julian Sayin, the redshirt freshman quarterback starting for Ohio State. Can he handle the pressure? I know you object. I think this is all what it kind of comes down to. And there's also new coordinators too. Matt Patricia at defensive coordinator. Hartline, the new offensive coordinator. Can that bring new stuff to master? This is a big one because I think right now, in a matter of who needs this more, and I know we're not storyline. I mean, I'm a storyline guy, Tim. I don't know if you're a storyline guy too.
A little
Somewhat, a little bit. I think Steve Sarkisian needs this win more than Ryan Day does. Because if you're Ohio State, you're coming off a national championship, and you're basically like, all right, like
we did it.
We did it. Big Ten's kind of weak. We still have a pretty favorable schedule. If we lose this game, no big deal. I think if you're Texas, you lose to Kalen DeBoer in the playoff when he was at Washington. You drop 2 games to Kirby Smart, which was not ideal. I know you made it to the Final Four, but still not ideal. I think that if you lose this game and you got to face a gauntlet SEC schedule, not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. I don't know. Betting wise, I think I'm going to go with Texas money line.
I think that's the favorite pick here from Bet. I would imagine that's probably the most popular bet going to be placed on the day.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I see the value. I understand. They're not even favorited, right? They're the underdog.
They're the underdog. It's a 1.5, which is essentially a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I think if you're laying 1.5, you might as well just bet money line.
Yeah. I'm going to take the over on this game.
Ooh, I was thinking under.
I think we're gonna get a little old school Texas Ohio State shootout here. I think that if Arch Manning really is what people say he is, this is gonna be a show and tell. It's a big step week 1, and if he can show out, I mean, we can look at some good numbers here. What's the line set at?
Right now on DraftKings, it is at 1.5,
and then the over under set at
under is 47.5.
I like the over. I think the over is gonna smack her. I think it's gonna be 2 good offenses going against each other. I know the defenses are good. But sometimes we see offenses overshadow defenses. Again, I don't think Arch Manning's the Heisman favorite. Well, I guess he is. I just don't think he's going to win the Heisman. But
he is, yes.
Yeah, but if he is what people say he is, this is going to be a big tell. So I think he's got to show out week 1, and if he does, the over's going to hit.
All right. I did lean the under just because, like Arch, I know he's gotten like some experience, but he hasn't been like...
He has no experience.
All right, leave my guy alone. So, all right, and same thing with Sayin too. It's just that he hasn't really. And I know he has Jeremiah Smith, but I think these 2 defenses are very good, and I just think that both these defenses are just going to execute.
Sometimes it takes times for defenses and offenses to click. It's just a matter of which is going to click first, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Next up, Alabama, Florida State at the Doak. The renovated Doak Campbell Stadium. Alabama favored by 13.5. Total set at 50.5. They entered. The Tide entered the season naming Ty Simpson as their starting quarterback. They're looking to carry momentum. Ryan Williams is back. Jam Miller, he remains sidelined due to a collarbone injury. He's going to be out for this opener, and they're going to rely on a running back committee. Florida State, they are in a rebuilding phase. after finishing a disgusting 2-10, and they're continuing its overhaul under Mike Norvell. Their offense is led by Boston College transfer Tommy Castellanos, who has been saying a lot of things, and honestly, saying things to media like we're going to beat that ass, all that. But I'm kind of like, you know what? You finished 2-10 last year. I think you need that kind of edge. So who cares?
He had a good year last year, too.
He did have a very good year last year until NIL got in the way. FSU saw some significant roster turnover. New talent includes Deuce Robinson from USC, Squirrel White from Tennessee, Gavin Blackwell from UNC.
Squirrel White. I love that
Squirrel
name.
White's the best name. And also rising freshman Javon Boggs. Freshman running back Usman Kroma has turned heads in camp and could have an impact presence on early downs. So, what are we thinking? What do we have?
Again, you're an FSU fan if you're taking them at any point here. It's Bama on every aspect of the board. If you want to take anything, Bama-wise, take it. I think this is going to be a blowout game. I think they might win by like 4 touchdowns. I think FSU might be one of the worst teams in the country for a big name, as a big name school. As a big name school. I don't know. I don't see an upside for FSU this year. I don't think Bama's going to be lights out. Obviously, I don't think they're no Oregon, but
is this make or break for DeBoer? No, 4 losses in Alabama is not ideal.
It might be. I think it's definitely a question. I think it raises a few flags, but this FSU team's not very good, and I think Ryan Williams is going to show out this game. Alabama's more experienced. They're a deeper team. They're a better team. Let's just say it as it is. They're a better football team. I think they get it done on every aspect. Take whatever you want. Money line, spread. You can even take first half spread, first quarter spread, first half money. I think they win every quarter of this game. I don't think it's close. I'm taking Bama no matter what.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alabama as well. I just think that there's stability growing in year 2 under DeBoer. Ryan Williams is back. Ty Simpson's a pretty good quarterback. He's spent a couple years backing up Milroe. Yeah, I just think that and it could be it may be a good learning experience for Florida State. You play a physical team. It could definitely lead you to some
getting
wins,
your ass kicked is definitely a learning experience. They're going to get smoked.
It's leaning towards a solid win for Alabama, and I'm going to go with the Tide for this one. I'm going to go with the Tide. Next up, here we go. This is probably the main event. This is the main event game for me, if you ask me.
Is this a pick'em?
No, it is not. It is not. It's Clemson's actually favored by 4.
Wow.
Or 3.5 on some books. Clemson, LSU total. Spreads at 3.5. Total is at 57.5. Brian Kelly enters his 4th season at LSU with national title aspirations, and he needs this win. This is. I don't think Dabo needs this win. Brian Kelly needs this win. 5 consecutive season opening losses, and he has an outstanding quarterback. Probably the projected number 1 pick in this year's draft, if I'm being honest. Garrett Nussmeier returning after a 4,000-yard season, 29 touchdowns. The offensive line is newly configured. No Will Campbell. They lose 4 guys to the NFL draft. Their performance under pressure, particularly protecting Garrett Nussmeier. This Clemson defense is elite. This is going to tell the story right here. This Clemson defensive line is going to be elite. They decide the outcome. LSU's defense has also gained depth through the portal, providing rotation-friendly flexibility. We go to Clemson's offense. Cade Klubnik is my pick to win the Heisman. I think Cade Klubnik, this should be a Heisman-winning season for Cade Klubnik. I think right now, honestly, like we've seen, I know they made the playoff last year. They're riding momentum on that. They almost went into DKR and beat Texas for all I'm thinking about here. But I think that this year is like, okay, this is the Clemson that we knew when we were younger, where it's like, all right, Clemson's a playoff team.
Well, it hasn't been that way for a while.
But I think this year's going to be the year for Clemson where they're going to be a staple in the playoff. This quarterback matchup just gives me such chills. I feel like we'll be talking about this game for a while. Yeah, I think Nussmeier's ability to handle pressure versus Clemson's pass defense is going to test the rhythm of the offense. LSU's offensive line against that Clemson defensive line is going to be huge.
That's the real telltale.
That's a big one.
Because you lose everyone in the draft in the O-line, and now you got a new squad coming in. Will Campbell was a stud. And now you got to go up against a great D-line. Yeah. That's going to tell us on the story of the game right there. If they can hold up, then it's anyone's game. If they can't, I think Clemson runs right through.
Exactly. I'm taking Clemson minus this.
I'm with you. Clemson
minus 3.5. I think this is the year for Clemson. This is the year for Dabo. This is the year for Cade. Clemson's winning this game. Everyone's going to laugh at Brian Kelly. And that's all I got for that one. All right. We do have a little bit of a dessert after the game. Utah taking on UCLA, an old school Pac-12 matchup, which is just so sad to say, even though it's been a year since the Pac-12 disbanded, but still,
feels like forever.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. This is Utah's second season in the Big 12, led by Kyle Whittingham in his 21st year as head coach. They welcome in Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator from New Mexico. No Cam Rising. Devon Dampier, who was Jason Beck's quarterback at New Mexico, led to their best offense in years. Now we have UCLA. This is their second year in the Big Ten. They finished 5-7, now entering year 2 under head coach Deshaun Foster. They bring in Nico Iamaleava and running back Anthony Woods, who will be facing his former team in Utah, and they expect like an RPO spread offense from UCLA. And there is some offensive line concerns with UCLA. They're carrying over a lot of the offensive linemen from last year's team, but they just still remain inconsistent. Utah favored by 6 points. 6.5 on DraftKings. Total set at 52.5. What are we thinking here? This is an interesting one because this game opened at Utah favored by 1, and now it's all the way at 6.5.
I think pace is really going to tell the story of the game. Utah is going to try and grind it out on the ground. They're going to slow the game up. If UCLA can keep a consistent pace and have their aerial attack working, if they can keep that throwing game going, maybe. But I think Utah's going to slow it up so much and chum up the game that it's in their favor. And I don't think they get the spread. I might take UCLA plus 6, but I like Utah to win.
Yeah, I'm thinking UCLA plus the 6. I think this game may be closer than people think.
It's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow-paced game.
Matchup factors here are like it's going to be a very slow-paced game. I think Utah has stability under Whittingham. This is a bounce-back season for them. They have a lot to prove. UCLA has an offensive overhaul under Deshaun Foster in year 2. They're still building their identity, but they have the talent. They have Nico.
Can they put it together? That's the question.
Yes. Can they put it together? I think right now the trench play is going to tell the story. New offensive coordinator, but the backfield is more cohesive for Utah. For UCLA, the offensive line remains a concern, but they're still integrating some transfers. And also, Utah's returning a defensive coordinator with a strong pass defense. Nico's going to want to throw the ball. I know the offense is very RPO heavy, but for UCLA, defensive improvements underway with new personnel and new front guys. I think the environment also kind of plays a factor into it. It's a road debut. You have a new offensive coordinator. You're looking to bounce back. You're playing an old Pac-12 rival. How could you not be juiced up for this? And also, if you're UCLA, you're at the Rose Bowl, man. Like home opener, it's creating a lot of high energy. The fans are expecting improvement. I'm going to go with UCLA plus the points for now. May change. Maybe take the under.
I like the under and UCLA by the points. Those are the two. The under is more of a lock for me. I think it's going to be a slow paced game. It's not going to be a lot of scores, but I like UCLA plus 6. Stan, is this the dark horse pick we take it right now? UCLA to win.
I just think like the game opened at 1.
And now it's
at 6.
Is it a trap? Are they trapping us?
Maybe. I don't know. It may offer you value, but it's just if you just trust the continuity and a settled scheme, maybe the under just because both offensive lines just aren't. I mean, I think Utah's offensive line is much better than UCLA's, but still, they're both question marks. Lean the under now, but subject to
both leaning the under. But honestly, if you want my dark horse pick, UCLA wins this game.
That's an 11 p.m. kickoff, by the way.
Later dessert, second dessert.
Yeah, the second dessert, second dinner, really. If you want to talk, if you
late
really
night
think
snack.
Yeah, really. That's a munchy game.
That's Pac-12 after dark.
Yeah, that's a Pac-12. That's a prime Pac-12 after dark game. Just absolutely. All right. Next up, South Carolina taking on Virginia Tech. Shane Beamer, head coach of South Carolina, is the son of Virginia Tech football head coaching legend Frank Beamer. He's one of college football's most celebrated coaches. So there's some emotional factor to that. This is the first meeting between the two teams since 1991. South Carolina, they bring back Lenora Sellers, legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate, elite passing, elite rushing. Mike Shula's taking over at offensive coordinator for the Gamecocks. Very quarterback friendly with Clayton White, defensive coordinator for South Carolina, leading an aggressive defense. Virginia Tech, Brent Pry is in the midst of a rebuild, overhauling staff and roster. This opener may determine whether the program can find its rooting or continue its slide. Quarterback Kyron Drones, dual threat, back for 2025, will be a key offensive spark, hopefully leads to a potential rebound, pairing him with a strong backfield. The defense has been historically good, will again be relied upon against this offense. Spread right now is at 7.5 total at 52.5. Tim, what are we thinking?
I like South Carolina minus 7.5. I don't think Virginia Tech's a very good team. I think they have a ton of question marks putting stuff together. I like Lenore Sellers. I know he's a Heisman candidate. I don't trust really any quarterbacks coming out of South Carolina, though, after that whole Spencer Rattler situation and everything going on over there. Yeah. They're definitely an interesting team. But I do like South Carolina with minus 7.5. I've never been high on Virginia Tech. I don't think they're a very good team. I think, again, like you said, they're doing a lot of roster overhaul. This is a rebuilding situation for them. It doesn't really seem like they have a direction, so I'm going to take USC. Give me that minus 9 or minus 7.5.
I'm kind of stuck with this game. I don't know, because I'm not really expecting, like, I'll be honest, I think South Carolina's due for regression, if I'm being honest.
But this much? And what are they, the 13th ranked team in the country?
Yes, but I think rankings are bullshit. But nonetheless, I don't know. Maybe if there's something that I can see here that mentions this game, I definitely will.
Virginia Tech's got to scheme up. If they scheme up nice, maybe. But I just don't see them having, like, the perfect scheme. I know USC's not like a powerhouse.
Also, really, maybe. God, this is a tough one, really. Brent Pry, 4-10 against the spread against. Okay, yeah, I'll take South Carolina. I'll take South Carolina for this.
Stay away from this game, but if you want to.
Yeah. This is also in Atlanta. A lot of Atlanta games. Mercedes-Benz is a busy place during this time of year. Yeah, Kyron Drones continues to battle with injuries. He missed all spring practice due to a medical procedure. They're not really saying what that is. So I'm just going to leave it alone, kind of, sort of. Let's go to Notre Dame Miami. This is another big one. I can't wait for this one. Notre Dame, they are favored by 2.5, total set at 49.5. CJ Carr named the starting quarterback for Miami. For Notre Dame. I apologize. Carson Beck named the starting quarterback for Miami. What do we think about this one? I have a lean. I have a pick here. I'm gonna say it. Screw it. Give me Miami.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think if they can win the turnover battle, it's their game to lose. Again, for me, it's got to come up to the turnover battle for me. Whoever wins that.
Miami, they're also not playing a game outside the state of Florida until
which is crazy.
What is it? November?
Does that help them though? Because then you go outside of Florida in November and it's fucking 12 degrees, and you're like, oh.
Until October 17th. October 17th.
A while.
So they play Notre Dame, Bethune-Cookman, South Florida, Florida State. Actually, no, sorry. Miami. They don't go on the road, technically. They don't go out of the state of Florida until November 1st against SMU.
Damn. I didn't even know that.
I'm going to go with Miami, though. I think in the terms of I think Mario Cristobal needs this.
I would agree.
Because with the way that they lost got knocked out of the playoff last year, or out of playoff contention last year.
They're due for a bounce back.
Yeah. Let's go to the big one. The Labor Day main event. This is big. TCU, UNC. TCU favored by 3.5. Total set at 56.5. Josh Hoover returns to his third season as TCU's starting quarterback. He brings experience and leadership to the offense. He'll take on a UNC defense led by Bill Belichick. Which is a sentence I thought I'd never say. That defense is going to be put to the test, especially against a TCU offense that plays explosively. I don't know what to think here for this one. Actually, I think I may just stay away from this game and just bet how many times Jordan Hudson is featured during this game. If that can be something, maybe the under. I don't know. Over.
We saw what Belichick did without Brady in New England when they were and it wasn't great. I don't think he could just miraculously turn around a team. I know UNC's not terrible, but you can't miraculously make a team amazing. Obviously, he brings some pro football coaching approaches. Yeah, it's probably going to be a good scheme, but I think TCU's a better team. I would take TCU by the money line. But again, like you said, I don't know either.
Yeah, not a clue. I'll take the over for fun.
There you go. Fun bet.
Yeah. Just a fun bet. All right. We can breathe. All right. Quick what I saw, and then we'll head on out of here.
What did I see? Oh, they're having a Field of Dreams game next year.
Yes, I did see that.
Who is it? Philly and Seattle?
Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Why is that? Why is that the game? Did anyone want to enlighten me with that? You couldn't pick anyone else more interesting?
Well, Nightingale did say that it was going to be Phillies Mets, and then
Yeah, that's
all of
what
a
it
sudden,
was, and then it got fucked, and I was a little tight. So
yeah, I was just kind of. I don't think you want to. I don't think you want a Field of Dreams game. Speaking from experience, exactly. What I saw is, oh my god, I had it in my head and I lost it. Oh, Big Brother's been incredible. Pure cinema, if anybody matters, if that matters to anyone. I couldn't really think off the top of my head, so I just thought Big Brother.
Rampage Jackson's son, you see that?
Yeah, I was just
That's what I saw.
That's what the fuck.
That's crazy. He's now, I think it's potentially facing criminal charges for it. I have no clue
I
what
would
happened.
hope so.
Yeah, he almost killed the guy.
I would hope so.
Apparently the guy's
for
okay.
Those that don't, Rampage Jackson's son is
Rajah Jackson.
Yes, but is he like a professional wrestler or something?
UFC fighter.
He's an MMA fighter.
So here's what I heard. So the story was that the wrestler approached him in the parking lot, and he thought he was a wrestler, so he was trying to set up a potential storyline. Because, everyone, if you watch wrestling, that's, you set up storylines, and that's how it works.
Yes.
So then after he came up and formally apologized to Rampage Jackson's son, and was like, I'm sorry, like, I thought you were a wrestler, like, I didn't mean any of that, like, this was like an act, pretty much. He was setting up a storyline. And then apparently that didn't, it seemed like it was fine. They shook hands, everything was okay. And then he came in the ring, just body slammed him, started punching him in the face while he's on the ground. So he gets knocked out cold. He flatlines in the ring, actually. They bring him back. He turned out to be okay. Rampage Jackson then puts on Twitter a report. Yeah, did you see Rampage Jackson's tweet? So apparently his son has a concussion. So apparently he was in a UFC fight, a sparring match, like a week prior. He had a concussion. He was in no business being in any physical action. And then he went nuts. And apparently, I don't know what Rampage was trying to like justify with the concussion, that this was okay. He said he didn't condone it by any means, but brutal what happened.
So this is what actually happened. So before this guy's match, this guy, Stuart Smith, he goes by the wrestling name of Psycho Stu. That's a dope name.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway.
Also a veteran too, so shout out to him.
Yes. So he reportedly struck Jackson on the head with a beer can and mistakenly thought that he was a part of the storyline, like it was a work. So Smith apologized multiple times, and the two appeared to resolve the issue, with Jackson being told he could get payback in the ring as part of a scripted spot. Jackson entered the ring, lifted Smith above his head and slammed him on the mat, and proceeded to punch him over 20 times in the head, even after Smith appeared unconscious. Other wrestlers intervened who was in the storyline, who was then escorted out of the venue. The incident was captured on live on Kick. Footage went viral. Smith was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries and was reported as awake and stable by Quentin Jackson. Oh, that's Rampage Jackson, sorry. Though some sources noted he was in critical care. There were unverified claims that Smith briefly flatlined before being revived, and Kick suspended Jackson's account for violating their guidelines on excessive the LAPD is investigating the incident. No arrests have been made, but detectives are reviewing the case for potential criminal charges given the premeditated nature captured on the live stream.
Yeah, he's fucked.
So, yeah, I think he's screwed.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. That reminds me, there's like one point when ECW was a thing, Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
For the WWE, the New Jack incident.
I don't even remember what happened.
They basically had a show at like Mass Transit, and New Jack, who is borderline psycho, like a insane psychotic man. I guess like someone that he was supposed to fight like dropped out, so they were trying to find someone, and this like 19-year-old kid who was like barely like was trained to be a wrestler, but was like barely even trained to be a wrestler, and he like threw him off, like he almost killed the fucking kid.
Jesus.
I think he did kill him.
Jesus.
New Jack, Mass Transit. It wasn't even a 19-year-old. He was a 17-year-old. Let's see. Mass Transit incident, yada, yada, yada. 17-year-old Eric Coulis, an aspiring professional wrestler who used the ring name Mass Transit. I'm a dumbass. Was seriously injured at a tag team match against the Gangsters. The most severe injury occurred when Coulis was bladed too deeply by New Jack. Oh my God, severing 2 of his arteries. Further controversy arose when it came to light that Coulis had lied to ECW owner and booker Paul Heyman about his age and professional wrestling training. So basically, they just threw a 17-year-old out there. That's
crazy.
Said, go. Yeah, and he almost fucking killed him.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So that's a quick little wrestling chat that we had there. That's still absurd, though, that he just thought that, like, it just turned into an MMA fight.
It doesn't make any sense.
Does not make any sense at all. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, yes. Be sure to, I haven't done this outro in a while. We've had 2 weeks off. I can't do it. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Be sure to like this video on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube, leave a comment on our YouTube. Be sure to follow us and rate us on Spotify.
5 stars?
5 stars only. NFL football preview next week.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Right around the corner.
Man. Right around the corner. We can disguise ourselves from watching the Yankees and Mets, and we can just focus on football.
Yeah, at that point, they'll be out of the playoffs.
That is true. Enjoy week 1, people. Exciting college slate coming. Exciting college slate. We're going to be posting clips of basically what we were just talking about right now onto our feeds right as the games are starting. Can't wait. Cannot wait. I'm so excited. Football is back. We'll see you guys next week for our NFL preview and college football week 2 preview.
Yes, week 2.
Yes, week 2. All right. Peace out, guys.